Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pietschker's podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. He is one of my closest friends, John Jules Carone. John, why don't you say hello?
Hi, how's everyone doing tonight or today, wherever you are listening?
It doesn't matter
Um,
at the time,
yeah,
you know. It's
yeah. Whatever time zone it is, I hope you are enjoying it. We have a good discussion for you today. We're gonna
yeah,
we're gonna talk about a certain artist that has a lot of meaning to both of our lives musically. And then Scott, who's that artist you want to talk about?
yeah. So today, I just want to talk very quickly about Mac DeMarco, and John's actually one of the first people to get me into Mac's work, and he just has some very beautiful music that I've been listening to for quite a long time now. And we just wanted to go over one of his classic albums, which is This Old Dog.
I
What do you
remember
think to
the
say?
yeah, I was gonna say, you said I kind of showed you Mac DeMarco. I remember we were driving in your old car for the very first time, like one of the very first times I was in your car. But I remember playing um, the song "Chamber of Reflection" by Mac DeMarco,
Oh,
and then
such a great song.
yeah, you had no idea who he was, but I played the song, and then I just remember your reaction. You're like, "What is this? This is good.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
really good."
And that reaction led me to listening to a bunch of his interviews and seeing how crazy of a guy he actually
And
is.
quirky.
He's very quirky, and this whole album's pretty quirky as well.
This old
Um,
dog is this old quirk.
yes, yeah. So, to start off the album, he has "My Old Man," which is about his relationship with his father, which is a pretty dark song to start off the album with.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, kind of going into the album and kind of so this album came out in 2017. So and that song was one of the first singles to be premiered from the album when it came out. I remember it was probably like almost this time, like it's almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
So it was like I
it's
think it might have been
crazy.
yeah, I think it was January, but he goes on in the song to just talk about oh boy, look at me, it's my old man and me. Like some that's just kind of some of the lyrics paraphrase. But I mean, if you look into that and the themes of the album, as we talk about more of the tracks, you can tell um, Mac is trying to come to terms of like what his relationship between him and his father means to him in the scheme of things. And I mean, he's always had a I mean, not to get too personal into his life, it seems like he hasn't had the best relationship with his dad. But the album kind of details that to the audience, to the listeners of his music. It's a little more intimate than some of his other works.
Definitely. A lot of his other works is much less personal from this album, and you could tell with "This Old Dog" as well. That was another single that came out. That was one of the first ones that came out with "My Old Man," and both tracks are very good. I think those are two of the best on the album.
And then yeah, and then even going from like you said, just in terms of things becoming more serious, doesn't he have a song called "Horse Wee Wee Water" what was it called?
Horse Wee Wee Water.
Wow.
I'm not too sure what album was that from.
Can we look it up? Can you type it? Can you pull
Yeah.
this information up for us, Scott? We just need to confirm for all the listeners out there.
Oh, it was off of his Salad Day demos, yeah. So you could tell that he sometimes pulls away from the seriousness
To the
and
court.
does some pretty quirky stuff. Um, yeah. So another album another track off that album was probably my favorite is just skipping down from those first two is A Wolf Who Wears Sheep's Clothes. I was
Yeah.
actually just listening to that before we started recording, and it's such a good upbeat song, and I love it a lot.
Yeah, I remember when you like first hearing the album, that was definitely like one of the songs that like stood out to you. I know that's been one of your favorites.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I wonder what the song you think about a wolf who wears sheep's clothing. So that's kind of is it talking about sort of like disguise? Like I mean, if you look at it a little more analytically, is he
Yeah,
just kind of talking about maybe again it goes to more of the relationship between him and his father, but it kind of, they just beyond the title, it kind of goes into oh sort of like things that are hidden in like the sight of something that seems innocent. Maybe it could be a little, it seems it could be, he throws these little sort of interesting tidbits of
yeah,
ways for into way different things into his songs, And as he's put out newer music, it's become definitely a lot more mature.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of maturity, the last track on the album, "Watching Him Fade Away," was it's it's going right back to his father again.
Oh yeah,
See,
I agree. It kind of like wraps everything.
wraps everything up. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And yeah, so I think we're gonna leave it at that. Um, we just wanted to go quickly over one of Mac's best albums, "This Old Dog," and I just wanted to thank John for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Scott, for having me. I can't wait for the next one.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And thanks everybody for listening. And I hope you all have a great day or night or whatever time period you're listening this in.
Thanks. Bye.